Cobb, what player you see the most improved? We'll do. How about this? I'll ask Gary Cobb that. I'll ask G Cobb that question. Let me say this to you, man. Gary, I forget where he was drafted. He may have been a 10th rounder. And he goes on to play 10 years. Do you know what Gary Cobb would be considered back in those days? A camper. Gary was a camper and turned it into a 10-year career. Guys, you know what my wife says about guys like that? My wife says, oh, every guy who plays 10 plus years in the NFL should be in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, because that's the kind of guy you are, man. Gary was a 9th rounder, okay? By the way, look what I did for him today, too. Look what I got going here, folks. Okay? I got Stanford High. I got the Black Knights on. They sent me gear. I got to get G Cobb some Black Knights gear. G Cobb, Craig Bingham, all them dudes, man. The guys back in the day. Without further ado, from Fox 29, our very good friend, G Cobb, joins us now. See that there, G Cobb? Look at that there, brother.
Yeah, I see. I was, I was up there earlier in the week, last week, with Coach Allswinger, Herm Allswinger. He was our basketball coach. He's got a big camp up there, Long Ridge day camp.
Yeah,
up there at Stanford. Yeah, so
yeah.
So I went up there to talk to the kids for him,
You ever go up to the Italian Center? You ever go up to the Italian Center?
Oh yeah. Well, I got. In fact, we're supposed to have a 50th anniversary at the Italian Center in September.
Oh my God, that's fantastic!
That shows you how many years, man. 50 years, up, getting near 70.
Hey man, listen, I used to go up there and swim. They used to drop me off that big old swimming pool they got up there. I used to go up there and swim, hang out in the back. Man, there were so many great things. My folks would drop me off up there, and God, there were so many good times there. Gary, I gotta throw this at you here. So you tell me. So today, CBS, they put Nick Sirianni 4th on their list for the top coaches in the NFL. But I want to ask you this here. So I just read that list of names off. Shane Steichen, Jonathan Gannon, Kellen Moore, Sean McDermott, Frank Wright, Ron Rivera, John Harbaugh, Todd Bowles, Doug Peterson, Brad Childress, David Culley, Pat Shurmur, Leslie Frazier, and Steve Spagnuolo. These guys have all gone on to become head football coaches in the NFL. Is Nick part of a really great organization? Or do you think, what has Nick added? Has he added? Or is he part of the environment that they've created the last 25 years?
Well, I definitely think that he's part of the environment. But the thing Nick has done is he's brought in a personal part with his connection with the players. That's the thing that he does an extraordinary job of. He focuses on first communicating with guys. Like from what I hear, and I haven't sat in their post-game stuff, they lose and everything. He comes in there and he's flat out honest. We screwed up this, we screwed up that, whatever. And having guys, and really what he does is with the veteran players, leaning on them to be leaders on the team. And they have some tremendous, veteran players on their team. And he gives them a lot of power to, if they got to chew out this kid, they're going to give it to the kid, where you got, let's say, one of the offensive linemen, which they mainly got veterans on the offensive line, but different parts of the team on the defensive side to where they're going to communicate. If you didn't do your job, you're going to know it. You're going to clearly know. But at the same time, he promotes a tight teams, that we sacrifice for each other. We're out there to win, but we're going to be honest with each other. So he's saying, hey, if we are horrible, we don't play well, you're going to hear it. We're not going to be mincing words. At the same time, I want to hear, what can we do to get better? He wants to know from the players. You got an idea. What can we do to get better? So the players have a lot of power on the team, but at the same time, he's not pulling any, he's not playing games. If you're not doing your job, you're going to know it, and you're going to know it fast.
I heard I heard Garry, he does this during team film. People don't realize Monday you come in, you watch the game as a team, then you break down with your individual groups and you go over what you guys do when you get in on Tuesday. Now, I'm assuming there's still Tuesday players' day off. So you watch the game Monday, you do some workout. Tuesday you're off. Wednesday you come back and you start prepping for what you're going to see. Monday you may see a little bit of that. Then you get ready for the next opponent on Wednesday. All that being said, I heard they call people out. Is this true? They call people out during team film, and your name will be on the board for good and bad and what not to do. And it's not just being called out. It's more so that, hey, we want you to get better. And we want you to see what you're doing that's maybe not what we're looking for. And examples of what we're doing. That have you heard? Is that what they do when they're in those meetings?
Well, it does that. And sometimes it goes even further to another meeting, where you got the coach, you got the assistant coach that's over you. You got Nick in there, and they're sitting there going, hey, what's going on with you? Hey, you see what you're doing here? We got to get better than this, and they're very open about it. But they want to hear from the guy, hey, if we're not coaching you right, anything you don't understand, they give the player a chance to respond. But the big thing is, look, let's be honest with you. Look, if we don't get production here, there's going to be a change. There's going to be something we need to know from you. Are we giving you everything you need to do the job and everything?
So they want to know what you're seeing, right? They want to know what you're seeing.
And what you've heard. Did we tell you this the right way? What do you understand that we're saying to you? They want that communication coming back, especially their veteran players. They want to know, like they meet with, let's say, 4 or 5 of the captains on the team. They're in there. Hey, Nick, hey, how did I do my job this week? I'm trying to express, did it come through clear to you guys? What do you think? We lost this game or whatever. What do you think went wrong this week? Are we doing our jobs the right way? See, and so now, a lot of coaches they're not going to do that. That hasn't been a regular thing in the NFL where you got a coach asking them, their top players, hey, what kind of job am I doing? See, Nick does that. That's why you got guys, you see the leading guys on the team, they support Nick because, look, the guy's not trying to be no phony sitting up there like I'm in charge of everything. I know everything. No. What do you guys think I can do? What do you think we need to do to get better?
Garry, do you think he's a good coach?
I definitely think he's grown into a good coach. I think when he came here, he wasn't the best. I think he's gotten better where he understands how to communicate with his players. He gets, like you think of this, like the veteran players, the top players, the captains, they got a lot of power on the team because he asked them, what do we need to do? Then he's letting them go out and take that message to the guys. Because really, come on, what registers with you more? If you got your teammates in your face, look, man, we got to get more out of you, dude, man. Hey, look, what do you need? But come on, man, we got to get more out of you. You got to play better than that. You got your teammates talking to you, so the thing is they have everything open, and he's got it where the open communications and everything. And that's why, this team, look at the way they were last year. 4 games, 2-2. After that bye, because they said they had a meeting and everybody let everything out, man. And you see they came back after that. They went to that running game. The defense, after a while, started coming on. And this team went on and won the Super Bowl. Now, that was unlikely. Look at first 4 games, they're 2-2, man. And really some of their better players, haven't been played their best ball and things. I mean, they were really
including the quarterback.
Yeah,
he
including the quarterback.
Well, the first 4 games. Let me ask you this question. I don't know what it is, but it seems that both quarterbacks, and Garry, this, quarterbacks and head coaches seemingly are always connected at the hip, whether it's Montana or it's Bill Walsh or what have you. You've got, Chuck Noll and Bradshaw and all that. They're always connected. Belichick and Brady. Mm-hmm. who do you think gets more heat? Is it Hurts or is it Sirianni? Who do people aren't who still do people not buy the most? Is it Jalen or is it Nick?
That's tough because a lot of them, you hear people talk, just no respect for the guys, So I think that's tough to say because I hear both of them getting grilled, and I think, what I was talking about with regards to Nick, people don't know what he's doing in the locker room and the communication. In fact, he's got this close relationship with his players to where they go out there and fight for him, see? Because clearly that's what they did last year. I mean, they put it together, man, and they went to war on people, and really they won running the ball down people's throat. So you got to show up every week. You're going to run the ball down people's throat. That means you got to have a lot of emotion you're showing up with every week, and you're beating them defensively. It wasn't where you just got a quarterback that's throwing for 5 touchdowns a game and everything. That team won because they showed up every week. So I definitely think, that's the argument for Nick, meaning like Nick is emotionally attached to his players, and he gets a response out of them and they fight for him. And you've seen a lot of the same things for Jalen because of the guys talk about the way Jalen works, that he's in there before everybody, he's working. And, the thing that people take for granted with Jalen is the fact that, Saquon was the heart of the running game, but Jalen adds to the running game because he's a threat every time he puts his hands on the ball. So that might occupy one guy or whatever. But a lot of times that one guy was the guy that could have made the tackle, but he can't because he's froze because he's afraid Jalen's going to keep the ball on a run. And so now Saquon is dealing with one less player, and then, the big thing with the weightlifting that Jalen does, the work he puts in and the commitment. So the running threat is a big part of what the Eagles are able to do, and they occupy people. So I think that I couldn't go one or the other. I think they're kind of like they're married, man. They both are not. They both are guys who nobody sees. They're both of them very underrated. Everybody,
underrated.
They're both underrated. Come on, nobody respects either one of them. Come on.
Here, let me go. Let me go here with you with this list.
Yes.
So Jeremy Fowler came out with a list like they do in the NBA with executive scouts and coaches, and here were the top 10 quarterbacks that they named. They got Mahomes 1. They got Allen 2. They got Burrow 3. They've got Lamar Jackson 4. They got Jaden Daniels after 1 year 5. Mm-hmm. They got Matthew Stafford 6. They got Justin Herbert 7.
Yeah.
They got Jared Goff 8. They got Jalen Hurts 9. Mm-hmm. And they got Baker Mayfield 10. Now, before you answer, I pointed this out and I said this. Okay, there's a big thing with Hurts that people do this. Well, why are you penalizing Jalen for being on a good team? And I've been saying for months now, I'm not penalizing him. But you have to use that same metric, Gary.
Yeah.
What would the Kansas City Chiefs be without Mahomes, a 4-win team? Joe Burrow's on the worst team in football.
Yeah, he's
in the worst organization. And he keeps them relevant. The Bills would be a 5-win team, too. That's another awful roster. I mean, Lamar's the only other guy you start to do with the Hurts factor. Dude, you're on a good team. You got to win. Jared Goff's on a good roster. You got to win. I mean, why is it so hard for people to go like this? Man, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, those guys are better players. They're just better players than Hurts. And you turn around and you go, listen, the best player at that position doesn't always win Super Bowls. We've had that in our career. You know that, Gary. I mean, Dan Marino. Are we going to sit here and really go like this? Here's the best example. Terry Bradshaw's never, ever considered the greatest quarterback of all time. He's won 4 Super Bowls.
Yeah, you're right.
What's the metric there with him? I mean, Isn't he falling the same Jalen Hurts? Well, he won. I mean, you can't tell me another quarterback who won more than Terry Bradshaw, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that guy won 100 ball games. Right?
Okay, the thing you're doing, though, is, things you're talking about. You talk about Bradshaw, so you're talking about winning. See? Now, early in his career, they would take the ball out of his hands, and they're going, look, we're running the ball. As he went through his career, like the last two, they did it on his arm. He's throwing the ball and everything. They always had, outstanding defense in there. But the big thing with Terry Bradshaw now, in those early years, sometimes he'd take off, he'd make a big play with his legs. Sometimes he'd make a big play with his arm, because he was great at throwing that deep ball, even when he was young, see? And the thing you got to give a guy credit is, look, you got to take care of the football or you're not winning in the NFL. You're not winning those big games like that. So, he was doing that. And Bradshaw always was a competitor, and he made the plays he needed to make for them to win. So, but the stats weren't dazzling stats,
Right. Right.
But it's all about winning. And see, that's where Jalen is. See, it's all about winning with him. And it's not easy. Come on, because a lot of guys, all they're looking for is stats. I've been about quarterbacks who all they care about is they're looking at their stats. Look, man, we need to win. We don't care if you threw for 300 yards if we didn't win the game. So making plays, and this is where Jalen is, I think, along with some of those other guys that you just mentioned. You mentioned a Bradshaw and guys that made clutch plays. Look at Jalen in the 2 Super Bowls he's played in. There are very few quarterbacks in the history of the game that have played better in the Super Bowl than Jalen has. In the 2 games he's played, he's had outstanding games in both of those games against good defenses, against,
He's
played well. So that's something that I got to give him credit is the guy finds a way to win. I mean,
but isn't he more in this room?
Yeah.
I mean, look at Aikman, look at Bradshaw, and then look at a guy like Bob Greasy. Let's use him for an instance. Greasy never had outstanding numbers because he had Zonka, Morris, and Kick, and a great defense. And he won 3 AFC championships in a row, 2 Super Bowls in a row, and one team was undefeated. But did he have the glaring numbers, or was he the talent that Marino? Aren't we talking more about accomplishments more than talent? Gary, you know this. There's so many more talented players that play in the league that aren't as accomplished because they're just not on good teams. I mean, you're sometimes a creature of circumstances on where you're drafted. I mean, some guys are just on a bad. Look at Derek Thomas. Derek Thomas was on the Kansas City Chiefs team. Would somebody tell me that he's not one of the greatest pass rushers of all time because he didn't win? I mean, don't you think Jalen is in that? And he's really in a great and it's not a rip. He's just in a great organization because I showed you all the coaches that have gone through the ranks, how they have won. I mean, when I look at him and Joe Burrow, he's nowhere near Joe Burrow as a quarterback. But Jalen wins more because he's got a great team. Burrow's in the worst organization potentially in all of pro football.
Mm-hmm.
How can you use one metric for one guy and then take that away from the other guy by doing this? Hurts has got a great roster. And I'm not even saying he's not a good player. I'm saying he's a really good player on a really good team. Burrow's a fantastic player in the worst organization in pro football.
That's right. Now, some of these guys, I mean, I agree. The thing is you see, okay, now Troy Aikman, Troy had been a teammate of mine. Okay, now Troy, stats-wise, you could go after him stats-wise and criticize him, say, no, he doesn't belong in the hall and all. You can say, but come on, look how much he won.
Yeah.
See? All the Super Bowls, big plays at the right time. I mean, how many times did he make big throws when they needed?
Huge NFC championship games.
Yes. Beating San Francisco, you're going against, and this wasn't a San Francisco team. This was a San Francisco team that was at the top of their
No
history
free
with it.
agent. Hey, Garry, no free agency. They didn't move anywhere. They were there.
That's right. So you got a great team, and they would go in there and beat them. And if they needed Troy to throw the ball that game, he's throwing the ball for 300 yards, 250 yards, whatever, and 2 or 3 touchdowns. So that's really why people look at him and say, well, hey, when they needed it, he'd take the ball and carry that team. But most of the time, Emmett and that running game was the core of their offense and stuff. But you can't take that away from him. Now, I could say all of that to say that Jalen finds ways to win, man. As long as he keeps that, you find ways to win. But I look at a guy, let's say like Justin Herbert, who he's on that list.
Yeah.
Justin Herbert hasn't won one playoff game. They haven't won one playoff game. Now, all those teams in the AFC, you can't tell me he should not have won at least one playoff game yet thus far in his career. I don't know what year he's in yet, but you got him up here. And in the playoffs, the guy has not got it done yet. See, he hasn't got it done yet. So I think some of those quarterbacks, and it depends on how you want to weigh this. Clearly, somebody like Troy Aikman is in the Hall of Fame for the way he played in those playoffs, for the way he played in the Super Bowl.
Well, let me ask you this about Herbert. Don't you think the Chargers? I mean, the Chargers are the Spanos family, and do you think that they really helped Dan Fouts or Phillip Rivers? They didn't really ever help those guys either have consistent winning. I think it's got a lot to do more with the guys upstairs. That's Justin Herbert's first playoff appearance. I mean, Jalen Hurts got destroyed in his first playoff appearance. And I get it. Listen, winning, is it two different conversations, Garry? Is it you take advantage of what you have? And then over here, aren't you asked to do a different job description at some of these lesser organizations? You've got to carry the offense. You've got to carry the game. You've got to carry this. Hurts doesn't have to carry the team. Like, he does not have to be good every week. I mean, look at the Rams game. He had 65 net yards passing. If any of those other quarterbacks have 65 net yards passing, you're getting beat 55-0. You're not winning 27-10. You're just not. I mean, how do you quantify that, though? I mean, this is really a tough conversation.
That's why these are great arguments, because you can look at it depends on what angle you look at it at. You can give a guy a plus, but it depends on how you're looking at it. Now, you talk about that Rams game, but you look at the other games. Of course, he made a touchdown run in that game. I don't know, what was it, 50 yards, something. I mean, how many quarterbacks in the league are going to take off and make that run like that? And see, he does that, and what it does is it occupies the defense, and so Saquon takes off on a lot of runs where him just faking the ball, and there's a threat of Jalen keeping the ball, and it occupies one or two guys, and that ends up opening things up for them. So this is the reason people sit and argue all the time. I see the guys over at the gym arguing about what we're talking about right now, because you could see where either way you could say, you know what, that's a good argument, that guy there. But doggone, say what you want about Jalen, the son of a gun is a winner.
Yes.
And there's not an accident. The guy finds ways to win. So how far do you carry that? That's the whole thing.
Here's what, again, you're right.
Yeah.
I am not in any way telling you that Hurts is not a good player and takes advantage of the players he has. My question again would be, well, Garry, I mean, you were in Detroit.
Yeah.
Was that a good organization when you were there?
Well, we went to the playoffs a couple times. It was okay because Monty Clark, Monty Clark had just come from Miami. He really brought a number of their people over there with him. So they were trying to work it, never really got to where we were consistently winning, even though, we're pretty much.
Look at what you're saying here, though. Yeah. When you go to Philly, you are consistent. You are in a good organization. Like you said, you had spotty moments in Detroit where you were good, you were bad, but you were never consistent, right?
Correct.
But you're consistent. And that's
right.
A good organization when you're inside that org. That's my point. Players go to places like that, just like yourself. Nobody really goes to a consistently winning organization. It just doesn't happen. So that's my contention when we're talking about how you look at quarterbacks. I mean, if we're going to use that metric you just had as your own player, you just said it. Your career was in Detroit. You were like, hey, a couple of years, man, we really looked good. We had the talent. All of a sudden, 2 years later, we're back down here again. We're up here. Well, the Eagles have been like this the whole time. And that's all players want to have, right? Always be in the game.
Well, that's true. And they definitely are there. I just think the thing about Jalen, been to the playoffs, numerous times. But
every year.
See two of those years, though, in the Super Bowl.
That's crazy great.
I mean, at this point in his career, it's a good start. Now, if he stays on this pace, he's going to the Hall, because that means he'll go 2 more times to the Super Bowl, just about, or maybe 3. If he keeps on to where he's going to the bowl at this pace. So, you win 2 Super Bowls.
You're in a different conversation.
So that's what's going to be interesting. And if you put a guy in the Hall, I think that that says a lot. If a guy goes to the Hall, I mean,
Hey, how about this, Garry? If you had to win a ball game, would you take Eli Manning or Jalen Hurts?
That's good, but I would take Jalen. I think he brings more to you because of that run threat. I think he makes the Eagles' running game better because of the run threat he is. Now he's still got things to prove because at times you do get frustrated with that passing game. You're going, hey, we got more than this in our passing game. Look at the guys we got to throw the ball to. We got to be doing more there. And so, that's the argument with Jalen. See, he's saying, he should be doing more. And that's why it's going to be, you're going to have some guy sitting over there ready to blast him this year. Then you got some guys over there ready to say, see, look, you can get a man his respect. And I don't know, if he wins another Super Bowl, I guess that's going to back people off of him. But he's the kind of quarterback where you're going to always be arguments about him because, he frustrates you sometimes. Then you're going, see, look at what he does, But it's going to be argument about Jalen for a while. We'll see. I mean, if they go to the bowl again,
Oh yeah. Listen, I have 10 predictions.
Oh, okay.
We'll go quick here, but I'm going to.
Are they for this year, huh?
For this year. Okay. Here's what I have. I have my bold predictions. I've got the Commanders winning the NFC East because no team has done it in 23 years. Has won back-to-back NFC East.
And they've made some good changes too. You see, they've added some people and things with Commanders. So we'll see. Yep. Okay.
2, I get the Eagles winning 11 games. Number 3, I got Cooper DeJean making All-Pro. I got Jalen Carter All-Pro.
Okay.
Number 5, I got Saquon Barkley rushing between 1,500 and 1,650 yards this year. Off a 2K year. I've got Jalen Hunt with more sacks than Nolan Smith.
Ooh.
Number 7. Who am I, Garry? Garry, who am I? Look.
Oh, boy. We'll talk about it.
I got A.J. Brown.
AJ, yeah.
I got A.J. Brown with less than 1,100 yards receiving.
Not a happy camper.
I've got Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
With 3,400 passing yards, 20 passing TDs, 650 rushing, and 12 rushing touchdowns. That's 32 TDs. I mean, I don't know. I've got Bobo Patullo That's what Angelo Cataldi calls Kevin Patullo. Bobo Patullo.
Yeah.
He be replaced at the end of the year for not being a good coordinator.
Not good. Oh, that won't be good. That right there would not be a good thing for the whole team. That means that they feel like they underachieved, you know.
Finally,
finally,
I got Keely Ringo. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
I got him being replaced in week 6 by Adoree Jackson.
Not good. Not good. That's not good. That means big plays. You got a corner that's not playing well. That's touchdowns and that's big plays and things. That's not good.
Well, here's why I say that you're going to struggle this year. I think they're going to a bit. You tell me. 5 new starting people that have never started before. You tell me, is that too high volume? You know, people are going like this. There's 22 guys. Well, I'm talking about half that. I'm talking about the 11 dudes.
Yeah.
An 11-man roster of starting defensive players. You're starting 5 new guys off the Super Bowl starting roster. Do you think that's too many?
I tell you, it's a lot, you know, and I think it's at some key positions defensively, you know, and if you know, and if they don't shine defensively, that puts more pressure on the offense. Yeah, you know, you know, with what you have, you know, the different predictions you have here. I see a team, you know, that's going into the playoffs, but they're not zooming into the playoffs, and that's shaky.
Don't you agree? Don't you agree? They could be better at the end of the year. They could look like a 9-win team at the beginning of the year, because of the defense. But Garry, they could get better and look like a 13-win team in November.
Yeah, they could.
Not the best record because, again, that defense. How about this? You can whatever you want to say. You've got 5 new question marks at linebacker, safety, corner, and the 2 D linemen.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I mean, don't you think Josh Sweat and Milton Williams, they're just not average dudes, were they to you?
Yeah, I thought they you know, they didn't play that way all the time, but I thought when the season was over, which really you're talking about last year, you know, they were playing at a top level, maybe, you know, even to a level near all-pro type level play that you were getting out of those guys, because that's why the team came on, because the defense was shining and was dominant at the end of the season. And that's why that team, you know, went on and won the Super Bowl, is because the defense was playing dominant football, you know, and so those guys were playing, you know, up near a Pro Bowl level of play. You know, now, you know, are they going to be able to do it at where the teams they went to? We don't know. But we know that they were doing this last year through the end of the season and into the playoffs. The defense was playing. You had guys playing at Pro Bowl level, numerous of them, and some of them they lost.
Garry, do you think this, though, finally here, don't you think this guy brings a great point up here? Is it easier to replace in a zone defense than in a man defense? Do you think that you got guys that are going to play center field and 10 yards off the ball and 2-eye safety? Don't you think it's more it's easier to have a plug-and-play guy in a zone-style defense than it is? I mean, Garry, it's got to be easier to find. You tell me. Don't you think it's easier to find a zone corner than it is a man corner?
Without a doubt. I definitely think it is. And that's why I think what Coach Vic does is definitely, you know, it's easier because he takes the pressure off the defense, because a lot of times he's in it too deep. He's not giving up those big plays. He's, you know, now, you know, he will, he's talked about being more aggressive at times, you know, but he's got to have the confidence in those corners to be able to do that. And he has no problem with, you know, making sure he doesn't give up a big play. You kick a field goal, maybe you kick a few field goals, but he's not giving up that big play. And You know, he's not interested in giving up big plays. You know, he's not going to just live in man-to-man where you got all kind of chances to get big plays. So that's what he believes in. He believes in making sure you work for everything you get, but he's not giving you easy stuff, big plays down the field like that. So we'll see what he does this year and see if some of those young guys, if they can give him a pass rush, because if they could give him a pass rush and, you know, and he's playing, you know, where he's not giving up those big plays, then the Eagles are going to get a chance to turn the football over on people. And if they turn the football over on you with that offense, you know, they'll win more than 11 games if they can do that. But if they can't do that, then, you know, they could wound up where they win 11 games this year, and they struggle at times. So we'll see what happens.
Do you believe he's a better coordinator than Jim Johnson?
Man, that's well, I tell you what, I wouldn't say, you know, I really thought a lot of Jim Johnson, but with the job he did last year, he's been here. How many years has he been the defensive coordinator here? 1 year, right?
Yeah.
I have to give him the nod. I mean, how can you do better than last year?
Hey, and he won 4 playoffs.
Come on.
And look what he did to Mahomes.
Yeah, look what he did to Mahomes. Look what he did to the Commanders that second game. Come on, look at the title game. He made them look like a joke. How many turnovers did they force in those big games like that? Yeah. So right now he gets the nod. I mean, and they, you know, if we could see something like that again, man, woo. But, you know, that was last year. That was last year. You don't get any credit for last year. You know, they erase everything. Everything starts out at 0 again now. And that's the fun of it. But, man, I want to see what kind of defense they're going to have, man. All of these, that's the thing is, how good are they going to be defensively with all these new kids?
That's right. No, hey, Garry, in closing, I got to tell you, man, I don't have it here. I left it downstairs.
Wow.
But do you remember a guy by the name of Tim McGee, who used to be the athletic director at USC? Mm-hmm. And so that guy called me in high school when I was in high school. And, you know, I took a recruiting trip out there to Southern Cal.
Oh, did you? Okay.
I go, yeah, man, I don't want to go that far because my grandpa, he goes, you know, Gary Cobb came here. And I go, it's the only reason I'm taking a recruiting trip. Okay. I mean, it's the only reason I took a recruiting trip was because Tim McGee was supposedly a great college player. I guess he won like the Outland or something like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he ran that program. And I found that letter. I'm going to take a picture and send it to you because, again, it would have been you, me, and Valentine would have gone to Southern Cal. I just said, I don't know, man. I was too homesick, man. I don't know why you ran out there.
I tell you what, you know,
I don't know how you got out there.
Hey, what they would do is they would wait till it was snowing back in Connecticut. And they say, hey, no, this is what they did. When you guys want me to come out, they go, look, hey, we'll call you. We'll tell you when you're going to come out. So they wait till it's snowing, and then I get the ring. Hey, you can head to the airport. Yeah, go out there tomorrow. You can get out of there. I hear snowing back there. Okay, boom. You get off the plane, man.
Garry, could you have went to Penn State?
Yeah, I could have gone to Penn State. Yeah, I could have. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, but of course, yeah. But you know, SC had all these guys going to the pros. They got you know, every year they got these guys. I mean, you look at them on TV, man, you see, you know, the crowds out there, the Los Angeles Coliseum and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to play in the Rose Bowl and everything. I said, you know what? I'm done, man. Sign me up.
Hey, one day you must do this. I have my national title rings here. One day you got to show me your Rose Bowl ring.
I'll do that. I
want to see what that thing looks like, man.
You still got it? And a national title ring too. Yeah.
You still got it?
Oh yeah, I still got it. Yeah.
Yeah. Here, let me show you this, Garry.
Yeah.
Let me bring this fat puppy out here.
Uh-huh.
So I keep it in my cigar box here.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll show you something here. Okay, so not that one here. So this right here is the Orange Bowl and the national championship.
Yeah, I see. Yeah.
It's the national championship.
You can see it's made by the same company.
Yeah, Johnston's.
Yeah, that made ours. Yeah. Yeah.
And here's the other one. National
I see.
champion.
Yeah. Those are nice, man.
Yeah. I got 2 of these bad puppies.
Yeah.
And I got my NFL alumni ring.
Yeah. It's nice, man.
Yeah. So I got to see that Rose Bowl ring of yours, though, man.
Yeah.
Next time you're on, man, I want to see that thing.
Yeah.
Do you ever wear it?
He'll wait just a second.
Okay, get it. Oh, my God. I want to see this thing. Because if I'm not mistaken, Munoz was on that team.
Yeah, I don't have those right here, but I have a little thing that I got, little complimentary of the Eagles thing, man. This is the Eagles.
Oh, wow.
This is the Eagles Super Bowl thing. They gave me a little piece. It's really not, but nice little replica.
Oh my God, that's great looking, man.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. Yeah,
I love that. Okay. Hey, do you mind if I post a picture of that?
No problem.
I like that. Yeah, there it is right there. Look at that. That's the 2017 season, right? Yeah,
no. You got it.
Or is it this year?
It's really this year's.
Okay, good. I love it.
Yeah.
That's great.
Nice little thing there for the Birds. See if they can do it again.
Get another one of them bad puppies. Dog. Thank you so much for everything. I love it, man. I can't wait to see what this. Hey, get this 8 days from today.
I know.
So your Lions started today, and the Chargers went to camp over the weekend.
Now, see, I didn't know that. I heard you guys say that, man. The Lions just starting today, man. And with all the people I know over there in Detroit, they're talking, man. They're talking. We're gonna do it. I said
they want Philly, don't they?
That's right. That's what they want. They said they wanted Philly last year, and of course they didn't beat Washington, but they say they want the Eagles this year. They said that they think they belong, that they should be taking the trip. We'll see.
Buccaneers too saying the same shit. They want the Eagles, man. Everybody's gonna be front and center with those.
That's right. Everybody get their chance.
Oh, that's what Michael Jordan used to say. Well, you about to get your chance. Hey, man. Hey, Garry, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate it. See you next week, man.
All right. Have a good one.
Fox 29's Garry Cobb. Eagles pretty cool, man. That's good stuff. Absolutely great stuff there. All right. We got to take a timeout. We haven't taken one yet. Our great friends at Morgan & Morgan, the #1 injury law firm in all of America. Why? They win. WIN. I was talking to John over the weekend. He was talking to me about family and nothing to do with business. We were just talking family, how he built the company and how that's the #1 motto that they have when it comes to Morgan & Morgan. That's why he's got all of his kids. Look at Joe Kraus. Joe's got all of his family involved in his business, right? Same thing with Morgan & Morgan. They got their entire family involved in the operation because it's family run. When it's family run, it means more, in my opinion. Thousands of attorneys from coast to coast, they all understand that motto. And here's the #1 most important thing. If you're ever injured, they don't get paid unless you win. It's as simple as that. Go to forthepeople.com/Big Silz or #529. That's forthepeople.com/Big Silz or #529. And do me a favor, you tell them Big Silz sent you.
This is Eric. When he got in.